Through gritted teeth you must keep your cool. Talk back to the ref and you'll end up the fool. Welcome to the Burnie Podcast.
On this week's episode, we deliver 400 meals. The Celtic team bus was spotted near Loch Lomond, and in the hot seat tonight we have Scotland International and Celtic ladies midfielder Natalie Ross with us.
Hello. Hi.
But first, the seniors were in action at the weekend, playing East House's Lily at the Purdy Worldwide Community Stadium. We were trailing 2-1 at the break and then 3-2 midway through the second period, but showed brilliant resolve to score twice more, securing all 3 points and keeping pace near the top of the division. Man of the Match award goes to young Blair Flood. Blair bagged himself a hugely important headed goal and an assist as part of an excellent all-round performance and a massive win for the Burnie. Trevor, did you see the game at all? Who else scored?
Unfortunately, my 2009s were playing at 3 o'clock in Edinburgh, so I was through there. Who else scored? It was Jonesy who scored 2.
Oh, Adam Murty's his goal.
His goal, yes, which I think it makes him the 20th top goal scorer.
I think I saw that today, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and the other goal scorer was Richie Hutton, and that puts him in the top 10.
And is that his first goal since he's signed back with us?
Yeah, that's his first goal, so hopefully many more to come. So a lot of hard games.
Good stuff. And who's up next for us?
Crossgate Primrose on Saturday.
This Saturday.
So if you're kicking about, nothing to do, pop down, let the other half go do the shopping, and come and watch the game if you like.
Cool. And talking to those 2009s, how did you get on with them?
I don't non-contest game. It was, I will not say what the score was, but we finished 20 minutes early, and it was in double figures at that time. So never really learnt much, but they were professional in the goal scoring and things like that as well. So the weather was horrendous. It was pouring rain. So yeah, it was hard to try and keep their tempo up and things like that, and do the things we wanted to do. But we did create a lot of chances and score a lot of goals. So yeah, it was never learnt much, to be fair.
All right then. Now, last week, this table was completely filled with over 400 bags of food. Can you tell us a bit more about what that was?
Yeah, with one of our charity partners, Meals and More, we were given 400 plus goodie bags to deliver to kids that we thought needed these things. So we decided to give them out to Murrayfield Primary, Urlords and Blackburn Primary. So with the help of Purdy's van and a couple of helpers, we delivered them on Friday. And we also put in 400 golden tickets for a parent and a child to come along to the game on the 27th. And they'll get a wee free hot chocolate and come and give the first team a bit of support over the Christmas period when everybody's full and, you know.
It'll be good to get the attendance up.
Yeah, all the families are there, so run away for the mother-in-law, come down and watch or the father-in-law and come down and watch the football. So that'll be good.
And I see we've got some merch here on the table.
Yeah, so if anybody's looking for merino wool hats and things like that, you know, these wool that comes from sheep from the Himalayas, you can come along and buy them from the cafe on a Saturday, or they can just give the Blackburn United page a wee shout and we'll organise delivery.
Excellent, good stuff. And I also saw over the weekend there that the Blackburn girls are looking for some new players. Trevor, can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, so I think all through the girls system, they're looking for players who want to come in and have some fun and learn the game and push on to hopefully what will be our seniors team within a couple of years. The soccer school specifically are looking for 2019s, 20s and 21s who were born in those years, because their last soccer school, that's them finished and that's them moving outside and starting their own to go and play fours and things like that as well. So yeah, if any young girls who are inspired by the chat that we're going to have later on want to come along, just reach out to the girls section on Facebook, or if not, even message this page and we'll put you in the right direction.
Yes. Now, we had a Christmas parade on Sunday there. That went down a treat, quite literally, with lots of festive candies being dished out. I was at the laser tag with the 2011s. Did you make it down to that?
Unfortunately, I didn't. I was grounded because I'd been out the Friday and Saturday and the Tuesday and the Thursday doing football, so I had to do some Christmas shopping and do all the tidying up, before all these lovely decorations go off and family come and visit.
Aye, well, we'll put up some pictures of the parade, I think.
Yeah, like always, Blackburn always put on some cracking festive stuff for the kids.
So another defeat for the boys and Michel Nancy. Is that how you say it in a French accent, or is it just Nancy?
I don't know, but your French accent was horrendous.
Okay, well, maybe give that a miss. This time at the hands of St Mirren in the League Cup final, is he completely out of his depth, or is it a reflection of the club's slow demise at the hands of the board? Trevor, can you give us a slightly less biased view than Jared's last week?
Yeah. Listen, it was well done to St Mirren.
Yes.
First and foremost, it was a game that they did go in and underdogs. And it just shows you if you work hard and attack at the right places, the coaches probably had a plan, and I think they listened to that plan. Celtic were a bit open and things like that. Nothing really much more to say to that. About Celtic. It's more about what St Mirren done in the day. I'd just like to know if everybody's made sure that we Rido's okay, because I've not seen or heard of him since that day. So. If anybody wants to reach out and just let me know that he's okay, that'd be fantastic.
Check in Ryan, please. We're thinking about you. Now she's been patiently waiting, listening to two old men waffle on long enough. So without any further delay, let me introduce Scotland International, former Arsenal and current Celtic player, Natalie Ross, to the podcast. Natalie, it's great to have you on.
Thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here.
Thank you. So growing up in Aberdeen and Ellen, we've already kind of talked off screen about your twang that's still quite prevalent there. Who or what got you into football at the beginning, and did you always know you wanted to play football seriously?
So I still laugh about this with my dad because my dad's my biggest supporter and he still travels down now to the games. But to begin with, it was just kicking a ball around the playground with the boys. And it was like an auxiliary teacher said to my mum, you should maybe try and get into a football team. And it was my mum that took me initially. My dad didn't think girls could play football. Thought, it should just be boys. And it was one that after a couple of months, one training session, my dad had to take me. My mum wasn't available, and since then he's been hooked. So originally it was just playing with the boys in the playground, but my dad is a massive influence and a big supporter of me, and has definitely pushed me to still play at the level I am just now.
What was it like playing in a boys' team as a child, and how those early experiences shape you as a player?
So initially when I started playing, I was really nervous and scared, and I actually used to wear a hat to cover my hair.
Right.
What boys are like at that age, obviously they're a bit immature and they obviously laugh and say, oh, girls can't play football, especially that length of time ago. So I used to wear a hat, and then when I got more confident and I realised I was not too bad at this, then I would take the hat off. But I definitely think it made me tough, because you have to be tough to play against boys. Faster game as well, especially at that age. It definitely helped me develop for Aberdeen and then Hibs girls, and then eventually break into Hibs ladies at quite a young age. So I definitely think that foundation when I was young definitely helped me in the early stages of my career.
So just on my coaching career, we used to play, you used to find quite a few girls playing in the boys' teams. You don't see it as much. And do you think that's a hindrance, or do you think, just playing with girls all the way through, or do you think playing with boys can be a wee bit...
Is there an appropriate age, basically, where you think that you go, that's the separate, like how old did you play with the boys before you went straight to the females?
Yeah, I think ladies? I was about 10, 11, and then I moved to Aberdeen girls under 13s at the time. But I would encourage girls to play with boys for as long as they can. I think when you get to that 13, 14, obviously the size difference, the speed, even when I remember playing, we don't do it now, but Celtic ladies, like 4 or 5 years ago, we played against boys under 16s, under 17s, and they could hit a ball over us and we could never catch them. But playing football, we could keep the ball a lot better than them. So it gets to that point, physicality, you just can't compete with them. But for me, young girls, you need to be playing with boys, I think. It's great to be playing with girls, but if you're actually wanting to really go somewhere with the game, it definitely toughens you up. You get quicker, you need to pass the ball quicker, your touches definitely get quicker. I would encourage it. If you're a girl wanting to try and be a professional player or make it in the game, play with boys as long as you can.
Because I think I'm not sure if the rules the same, because the rules may have changed. I think it was up to 14, I think they could play with the boys. And I think that was the changing rooms and everything else and stuff like that as well. But it was a question that I know it's not on there. No. It was something that, you know, as you say, quicker, you know.
I think it is, and it can be daunting as well, especially when they're at that age, teenagers, and it's boys and girls. Can be daunting, but I would, if you've got a young girl that's playing football at that kind of age, 10, 11, still encourage them playing with the boys. I do definitely think they benefit from it.
I know, I definitely think even my daughter benefited from the fact that she's grown up playing with her brother and her brother's pals who are all much bigger and playing football. She's not got any fear at all.
No, 100%, yeah.
But do you remember, was it at Hibs then, or do you think at the moment when you realised that actually this football could be more than just a hobby, like I could do this and make a full career out of it?
I was thinking when we spoke about sent the questions, I was thinking back to my first Scotland Under-15s trial, and I was still playing for Aberdeen, and the first trial I never got in, and I remember lying in the back of the car crying, bawling my eyes out, and my dad's like, well, you need to decide, are you want to do this, like you really need to make more effort. And I remember he took me out for a run. I was 13 or 14 and I could hardly run the length of myself. I was so unfit, and at that point I thought, no, I want to do this, I want to put everything I've got into this. And my dad would get up with me at 6 o'clock in the morning before school. We'd be going runs, and then eventually it was my dad that really managed to get me a chance to play down at Hibs, and he would drive me down twice a week to train. We'd play a game again, so 3 times a week to play a game on a Sunday. And at that point we had elite squad, so I was travelling up to Inverness on a Tuesday night. We'd stay over a hotel, and then I'd train, and then I would get the train on Tuesday night, and I'd get the train back on Wednesday to make it back for school. So again, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be playing football, I don't believe, because he did really support me. But it was that trial, when I think back, it really hurt me, because you know, you think in Aberdeen I was a decent player, but compared to all these central girls, like I just wasn't good enough at that point, and I really had to decide at that point what path I wanted to take. And yeah, I'm very competitive, so I didn't like it. It really did hurt me. So at that point it made me think, you know what, no, I want to give this a shot.
And I think your dad helping you, but I think also your own dedication, you know, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, doing for runs, you know, try to do things at school as well, and everything else that comes with that as well, and travelling. I think it's both of you deserve, you know, pat on the back for your dedications to get to you.
No, there was some points I'm just like, God, you're so tired, but then my dad's driving me, I'm managing to sleep in the car, and he's still having to go to work. So my dad's some guy, and like I say, he still travels down now. That's what Mum said, his life is Celtic women. I don't know what he's going to do when you stop playing. So that's what my dad said, he's going to start talking to my mum again when I stop playing football.
We'll get him on the podcast with your mum, and your mum saying I'm a football widow.
So you signed with Hibernian Ladies at a young age. What was that step up like from kind of youth football to kind of senior women's football?
So there was a jump. So at the time, going from Aberdeen girls again, and then seeing the standard down the central belt, because at the time, like the difference was massive from Aberdeen down to now. Obviously Aberdeen women are improving, and the difference is becoming shorter, but at that point when I travelled down, it was a big change. And again, I seen the standard in the trials. We had Scotland trials very often, so I could see the standard. And then going from Hibs girls to Hibs ladies, and at the time Hibs ladies were the top team in Scotland, like they were winning everything. I remember watching them in a cup final, they won 9-0. I can't remember off the top of my head who they were playing. That was just the season I was thinking about going to them. And all the players were national team players, starting players. So I bet you think, God, am I good enough to actually make this jump from Hibs girls to Hibs ladies? But again, my dad said, no, you need to push yourself. And I remember the first training session, they'd done training and running at Arthur Seat pre-season, and my dad drove me down. I was like, I'm not getting out of the car, I'm not going. Because I seen them, like they were big girls and they were athletic compared to, I was about 15, 16, I said, I'm not doing it. He said, I've driven all the way down from Aberdeen and you're not getting out of the car. You are getting out of that car. So I did, I was shaking, walking over, and I laugh about it now because I think, God, how did I do it? Because I was so scared. But yeah, I'm glad I did it. I pushed myself, and I didn't start straight away with Hibs ladies, but again, it was just maybe my competitive spirit, and I want to play football, and I want to try and be the best I can be. So it was a step up, and I was very, very scared and nervous, but sometimes you have to go out with your comfort zone. It could have been easy for me to play for another team, but I didn't want to push myself.
I guess the laps round Arthur Seat, because I've done that a fair few times. I used to do the triathlon round Arthur Seat, and that was a killer.
Yeah, it's tough. A lot of running as well. Again, going from girls to ladies football. Like I say, you just seen them and they looked like athletes. The difference from girls, yeah. And again, they were all Scotland national players. Like you looked up to these players, and I remember again, the first training session we didn't run in and we done a bit of games at the end, and Shelliker at the time was, I don't know if she was Scotland captain, but she was a main player for Scotland, and I tackled her because I like a tackle, and she said, "You'll never do that again." I remember thinking, oh my god, what will I let myself in for now? But it toughens you up. You kind of, at that point, you either make it or you don't. Like, those tests are kind of, you need to try and get through them, and luckily I did manage to get through them, so hopefully I'm not as harsh with the younger players now, but
I'm sure you will be.
I do still like a tackle, so but no, good memories. When I look back, I think, God, you did push yourself, and they were tough times, but again, it goes back to my dad, because if he hadn't driven me down, I would have probably said, okay, we'll just stay, we might not do that, but I'm glad he did.
Do you think that is the mindset of an elite athlete, and that's what, does separate you or elite athletes from people who go, right, I'm happy where I am and I'll stay in my comfort zone? Do you think it is that mentality of, do you know what, I'm going to be there, I'm going to push myself, I'm going to put myself in an uncomfortable position sometimes to get there?
100%. I think you need anything in life, I think not just with football, if you want to better yourself and you want to do other things, you need to go out with your comfort zone all the time. And even now, like, doing my coaching badges, like, it is daunting, and I'm not coaching it a lot, I am coaching a little bit, but doing my A-line, I just sent everything in for my A licence. Need to hear back to see if I've passed it, but it's still daunting. Like, I love speaking about football and I love football, but going standing in front of these ex-pros and Marcus Fraser, who still is a pro, playing, and I'm thinking, I'm coaching these guys, and it's mostly guys because there wasn't many females on the courses. And again, you think, God, it's really, and they would take the mick of me, like, you're just nervous, and I was like, I know I am. Like, why are you nervous? Because you can talk football all day, and I can talk tactics and everything, but it's, I think everything in life, when I look back and everything I've done, I've had to push myself, and I'm glad I've done it. It's not been the most comfortable of journeys, but when I finish my career, I'm sure I'll look back and think, wow, I've done all right.
When you write your book.
Yeah.
You signed with Hibs ladies at a young age. What step up, like, from your youth football and senior women's football? Is it a big, massive step in from?
So it is, and I still think now there's a bit of a step. So I coached kind of a little bit of the Celtic under-17s, and I can still see we've got a couple of girls. Emma Knox has stepped up recently, but it is hard to make that gap up, because it goes 17s to seniors, and to begin with they did have an under-18s and under-20s, but I just don't think there was enough girls potentially to fill those next gen teams and leagues, which is a shame, because I think if we could get that next step to then go to seniors, I think it would help. So it was a big step back then, and even now I still think we need to do a wee bit more to try and help the girls make that jump to senior football, because as it's become more professional, especially the top teams, and they can buy foreign players, and they need to win games, and it's going to get more like the men's team, like, you don't win games, like, people might end up losing jobs. So we need to try and make it easier for the younger players in Scotland to progress, I feel.
And is that with maybe having another development league in there before going into the senior teams and stuff like that?
I think, because a lot of the girls sometimes go on loan to, like, SWPL 2 teams, which is decent, but if you've got, like, an under-20s team, and even then I feel like injured players could then from the senior teams go and play in these under-20s teams to get minutes, because there isn't anything for the women's teams to do that. So, like, Chloe Craigie just got coming back from injury, she didn't have that opportunity. Her first games were in our games, so if she had that confidence to build up, we've got a big game at the weekend against Hibs, and it'll be her third game back, so she potentially could be ready to start if she played minutes. So I do believe like a development under-20s, under-19s league
because we've all the first team's obviously got a development under-20s team and stuff like that, and I think it does help with that, because obviously at this moment in time it goes to under-18s at grassroots level, and if you didn't have the under-20s it would be a jump up to the first team. Most players are not going to be ready for that, so I think the development league is.
And do you find that as well with the boys as well, from 18s to?
So it's under 18s to the 20s. And as you know, if you're, we've got a young disco man in a match, Blair Flood, who came from my own 9s team last year, and has took the step up, and it is a big step, and he's desperate to go, but it is about him, just because it is a big step. The tactical decisions, in grassroots football or development football, you can make that wee mistake, you can go that wee position out the road, you get punished if you do that at the first team. As if you're not, that's where I'm meant to be, but you go across here, you're going to get punished. So it's wee things like that. But he's doing well and he's learning. So I think if it doesn't matter what age, if you're good enough, you can get in there. But you definitely need that under-20s development. I think so,
to bridge
because
that gap.
again the coaching should be a wee bit better as well as you go there. Not necessarily, but the coaching should be there. The structure, people are going to punish you if you do a mistake or anything like that. So yeah, I think under 20s would be, and again for yourselves, anybody that's injured to just build themselves back up again and things like that. I think yeah.
So you moved kind of you went down to Arsenal ladies in 2008. Now, the English setup's probably seen in the whole world as probably the top tier. What how big of a leap was that even more on, and what kind of opportunity how did that opportunity mean to you?
Well, yeah, it was massive. So again, it was through playing with Scotland, and Julie Fleeting at the time was playing for Scotland. Obviously, she was at Arsenal. So Kim Little, me and Kim, both from Aberdeen, used to travel down to Hibs ladies together. And Kim had been kind of signed up with Arsenal, I think it was 6 months before me. And Julie said, you know what, Vic Akers at the time as a manager, he wants to speak to you. He's seen you play, and he wants to try and get you down. And again, maybe part of me when I was younger did lack a bit of confidence. Again, maybe my dad pushed me help, and I was thinking, no way did Arsenal want to sign me. While Arsenal were like the top team, like Hibs ladies at the time, Arsenal were, and what an opportunity. I loved my time down there, and yeah, I had a few injuries unfortunately, and a bad one on my left ankle which kind of hindered me. But even when I think back now, training in Arsene Wenger would come and watch you being a young girl. It's incredible. And even when I think back now, what the Arsenal women had back then, training at the men's training ground, you'd be mixing in with the men's players for lunch. It was just unbelievable.
And how if you could put it in, how many years behind do you think the female and Scottish football is behind English?
So I was 17, so that was a good 17, 18 years, and I think we're probably just close to where it was back then, in my opinion, when I was at Arsenal. I can only kind of speak for the clubs I've been at, but it's a shame because I feel we should be catching up quicker, because how good the England national team especially have been doing, and to encourage girls to play. And hopefully the new manager with Scotland ladies seems to be improving already, and I've heard a lot of good things, but there is still a bit of a gap, I feel, between the English Women's League and our league, unfortunately. But again, probably investment as well.
And I was ready to say that, as an investment, is it the clubs as well? Like the Rangers, Celtics, Hibs, everybody else, are they putting enough in it? Are they giving you, the tools to go out there and be a better team, be better athletes and things like that? Do they need to invest more? Because obviously I know Arsenal invests more, or is it just because there's not that appetite? Is there an appetite to invest more, do you think?
I think every female player, even Scotland will probably tell you the men's teams don't invest enough. And I think sometimes, obviously what England have done is the men's team have probably taken a loss to begin with, and now look at Arsenal, they're filling out the Emirates nearly every week. Whereas teams in Scotland are going to have to learn, potentially, if you want to invest, you need to take a loss, because we don't bring in the same money. I don't expect us to be on the same wages as Celtic men's, but that's madness. But to be able to progress the game, that we do need a bit of investment. And it's the same all the teams in the Scottish Women's League. So I feel that there does need to be a bit more investment. You want a fully professional league, because just now the SWPL 1, there's 4 or 5 teams that are professional, kind of semi-professional, and the rest maybe get a little bit, but to be able to reach the heights of English Premier League, we need money into the game. But again, it's similar to Scottish men's and the English men's league. There is still a gulf. So I'm hoping we get there. I'm hoping hopefully Scottish national team does well. Hopefully that kind of feeds into our league as well. But it is hard, because the big teams like Rangers, Celtic, Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen, you want more investment. But in Glasgow City, they're doing really well by themselves, being a standalone team. So I think they have got an investor, which is great for them. But it would be great to kind of the central contracts now being introduced in England. So I think for the second league in England for women, I think it's about 30-40 grand potentially, or for the first league, which is a base contract, which again doesn't compare to men's football. For women's football, that's decent. It's a decent starter. So it'd be nice for central contracts or something like that to come into the Scottish game to show that you don't need a second job, or you can do this. This can be your profession. So that's what I'd like to see in the future.
No, I think the central contract would be a really good idea.
Again, it goes down to investment. We need money to do that. So.
Just reach it to the rich people and make it fun.
So how did you cope with your injuries that you suffered at your time with Arsenal, and what was the impact on you kind of mentally and physically? Are you still suffering now at all from it? Or?
So when I think back down to my time at Arsenal, I think I am very much a home bird. I'm really close to my family, very, very close. And I think being injured and missing home had a big impact on being down there. I think if I was playing, because football's been my life since I started kicking the ball at 6-7 years old. And if I had that distraction with football, I think maybe missing home wouldn't have been as bad. But it was a tough time. I've had 2 really bad injuries, one with my left ankle in Arsenal, one the last 3-4 years at Celtic with my right ankle. So it is tough being injured, and I did miss home. And I look back now, I think, God, would it have been different if I wasn't injured? And I still feel I'd done well, and I did cope with the standard down there. But if I wasn't injured, would I still be playing down there now? But yeah, again, things happen. I'm a big believer things happen for a reason, and I got back up. I was very close to my family, and my gran who passed away last year. I spent a lot of time with her, and I've got amazing dogs, and I'm trying to be as positive as I can, because I've still had a good career, and I've loved my time playing football, and I was lucky enough to experience down in England. But it is tough being injured, really, really tough mentally. But yeah, luckily I keep pushing. My body's sore every time I step out of bed, my ankles, but I somehow manage to keep going. Hopefully for another year
you
or
can
so.
recover when you're 70.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm still walking by then.
yeah. You then returned to Hibs and won 2011, was it? Yeah. How did that period influence your development as a player? And was it mainly due to injuries that you moved back up? No, because we've probably already touched on.
So no injuries, and again coming back up, and I could have went to maybe another couple of countries, but being home I think was, and again home as in not Aberdeen, but I was close to family. I think I really needed that support.
Could you have been in Portugal or something?
So yeah, there was potential going to America for the whole scholarship thing, and then potentially the professional league. So that was, and again that's a big distance to travel, and I remember
especially when you're at the home.
Hibs seemed I'd been at Hibs, I knew the girls, and I just wanted to get back playing football and enjoying football again, and it definitely allowed me to do that. So I am glad I came back to Hibs, and then eventually Celtic, and then Rangers, and then back to Celtic. So
excuse me.
So how different, you said you joined back at Celtic in 2012. Mm-hmm. So how different was joining Celtic compared to the English leagues?
So we were going for the league at that point, so Celtic were really wanting to push and try and put a bit of money into the women's game, nothing compared to what it is now, but we had a really good team, a lot of Scotland internationalists, and we were really going for the league, but there was still that big gap. The standard was different. It was different, yeah. From Arsenal, because you had Karen Carney, you had Rachel Yankee, Kelly Smith, who was just phenomenal. So you had these top English players. And again, Celtic, when I signed to us, were a really good team, and we did have a chance, and we just kind of fell away at the end. But there was still a gulf. But I think again for me, my focus was playing football and enjoying it. And I look back now, and it's still fond memories to think, I was back playing in Scotland.
And what are some of those kind of standout memories on and off the pitch for playing at these different clubs?
So Hibs ladies, when I moved from Hibs girls, Hibs ladies winning the league, winning the Scottish Cup. Winning cup, unbelievable. And then obviously with Celtic recently winning the league again. It's ironic that I was 17, 18 when I won the league with Hibs, and then being 34, 35 years old winning it my second time with Celtic. So that's what me and my dad laugh about. You've never thought, I'd love to have won it more than that, but to think the age difference in managing to win it, and also representing my country is always special moments, even through the youth setups. And I remember again the first 15s I never got in the trial. The second one I got in, and my dad's, he tries to act like a tough guy, but he's quite an emotional guy, and I remember walking out and he was crying, and I was thinking, oh my God, you're going to make me cry, and that's a special moment, because it meant so much to him. He'd invested so much time and he believed in me. So yeah, representing my country was a big thing for me when I look back, and winning the leagues, Scottish Cups, League Cups, special moments. Mm-hmm.
And what about some of the rivalry? What's the rivalry like playing against Rangers or that, from a player's perspective? Is there a bigger rivalry on the pitch, or is it just a normal match for the ladies playing?
No, it's like the men's.
It's like the men's.
Yeah. There's definitely more hype and nerves, excitement, especially now Rangers women play at Ibrox as well, so which is great. They play all the home games there. So there's definitely that. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of edge and a bit more maybe aggression in the tackles when we're playing against the Old Firm. But I love playing against the top teams. Even Glasgow City Hibs, we've still got that kind of, maybe hatred's a strong word, but you want to compete against the top teams, you want to beat them. Hearts as well are doing really well just now, but no, definitely it's the same with the men's team. We've got a lot of Celtic obviously fans in the team, so they don't not too keen on Rangers. So we do definitely have that rivalry.
So what about this? Played for both teams and stuff like that. Is that not put you in the middle?
Do
you get a bit of stick. Yeah.
I do get a bit of stick. Yeah, I do get a bit of stick. But I say I've been at Celtic for longer, so we kind of write that one off.
Don't mention that one. Right?
Yeah.
We'll delete that.
When you rejoined Celtic in 2016, you committed a long-term signing a contract for several years. What made you feel that Celtic was home for you?
So again, enjoying football is a big thing for me. I think if I was to speak to anyone, you need to enjoy what you're doing, and I want to be able to compete. And there was always, a competitive team. I always want to compete for the position that I'm playing, and I felt like there was a progression in the club, and I could see where they wanted to take the club. And then obviously Fran Alonso came in. I enjoyed working with Fran, and Elena's done well as well. So I think that passion and desire it's kept me going, and I enjoy being at Celtic and playing for Celtic, and winning the league was just the pinnacle for me. To think all that hard work and all those late nights when we used to be training after the under-8s boys, and we used to be the last ones on, and you think, God, I need to go to work after this. It's definitely worth it, and I'm glad I've invested in being at Celtic because it's definitely paid off.
Good.
Now we'll go into your representing Scotland. Mm-hmm. You made your Scotland debut in 2008. Mm-hmm. What do you remember most clearly about your first cap?
So I remember being very nervous.
Do you actually get a cap though as well?
Yes,
you do get the cap.
I've got a cap. I've got a cap in the house. Well, my dad's got it. Being so nervous, really, really nervous. And back then I used to really suffer from nerves, and I still get nervous now for the games. I always say if I didn't get nervous then I would never play, but I've managed to deal with them a lot better. But being really nervous, and Julie Fleeting said to me, just go and enjoy it. Just go and enjoy it. Do what you do, and I did, and I couldn't believe it. Just buzzing after it. You don't sleep. You want to speak to everyone about it, and very, very special again for my family and my dad. That's just what I remember is going over to my dad, and it was very, very special. Mm-hmm.
And can you remember who you played?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me this. I can't remember who I played.
We don't know.
I do. I looked it up last night. It was like a 9 or 10 nil victory over a Swedish team or something, like a Scandinavian team or something like that.
Was it?
We'll check.
I should really know that.
You should for your first cap, to be fair.
I should know that.
We'll phone your dad. I'm sure he'll remember every single
Probably
moment.
wearing the cap.
We'll phone him now, actually. So in 2021 you were selected again for Scotland, the Scotland squad, after a long gap. How did that feel, and how did that kind of compare to the first time?
So I wasn't expecting it. I'd kind of been in the under-23s just a few years before that as well. Wasn't really expecting it. And again, Fran Alonso was kind of pushing for me to try and get back into it. Just unbelievable feeling to think I didn't know if I'd ever get another opportunity to represent my country, and it was kind of during COVID time, so it was a bit different to the first time and my first few caps, but still a great feeling, something I look back on and have proud memories, and I'm glad I did it, and got a chance. It was Stephen McLaren that came in and gave me my chance, so really proud that I did it. And unfortunately I then got injured with my right ankle, so I got the call up, and then I had a really bad injury in my right ankle. Didn't know if I'd get back playing, so potentially again looking back, could have stayed in the squad, would have still been in it. But things happen for a reason. I can't get hung up on things like that. I got my opportunity, and I've got the photos, and my dad's got them up in the wall, and I still look back on them with fond memories.
Well, that's my next question. What is your proudest moment wearing the Scottish jersey?
Proudest moment. I would have to say so the youth teams we got through to the final. We got through to the final. I think it was in France, under 19s. At the time we got through to the final, and you're obviously playing the top countries, and I actually ended up getting injured in that tournament, but I remember it wasn't common for a Scotland under 19s girls team to qualify. I think we're the second time we'd managed to do it, and we had a really, really good squad back then. So I remember the excitement and just thinking, wow, we're actually going to represent our country at a finals tournament, and it was just playing France, England, Germany, playing the top teams. So when I look back at that, I think, God, that was tough, but we managed to do it, and I think, like I say, with the second time team to do it. So for me, that was really proud to do that.
Would have been. Was there a lot of media attention round about then?
There was a bit. It obviously would be a lot bigger now, but there was a bit. But But yeah, maybe not as much as maybe the England women's under 19s would have got. But no, there was a bit. But yeah, it's definitely something. I've still got my shirt in the house and got it signed by all the players. So that was something I'm very proud of.
And has your dad got a own wee room for all your memorabilia and things
so when
like
they moved house, but I had like a thing with my trophies and that, like a bookshelf, and Mum's like, you need to put this away, and down. And Dad's like, you can't put it away. We still need to talk about it and look at it. But Mum was kind of wanting to put it away, but no, my dad still got some of them up.
I'm a bit like that myself, to be fair.
So you've battled injuries, and including, like you say, your long kind of layoff. What did that period kind of teach you about resilience and the possibility of looking beyond life, beyond football?
I think especially going back to my first injury, I was so focused on football, and when I got injured I thought like life was over, like that was it, and like it was mental struggles, you do have struggles, and I think even at that point I realised there is more to life, like you have to have friends out with football, you need to have other hobbies, that you need to do other things. And in the second injury in 2021, 2022, when that happened again, I think it really made me reset again and think, football's not going to last forever. You need to try and plan your next steps. And that's when I started thinking about doing coaching badges, funnily enough. So again, a positive of being injured in a really bad injury, that I really thought, I need to start doing something here, because I didn't know at that point whether I was going to get back playing. I got told it was a really bad injury and I needed 2 operations. And again, it forced me to do my coaching badges. So I look back and think, if I hadn't got injured, would I have managed to have done my A licence by now? Because like I say, it's a bit daunting doing the coaching, it's different to playing, but again it pushed me in a different direction and realised, I want to play, still be in the game. I love football, and coaching is a way I can hopefully stay in the game when I stop playing, hopefully.
And how important has the support been from your brother Frank? Especially during the tough times and when you're coming back from injuries and all these sort of things.
Because he plays football as well.
Yeah.
He does. He's stopped actually because of injury. So he knows exactly what it's like to be injured. So me and my brother are very, very competitive. So me and my brother and my dad, so like Christmas, no games or anything. That can't happen in the house. It'll be fighting. So I remember when Frankie was young, so what's the age? He's 27, so there's 9 years between me. We'd be doing 1v1s and I would take him out, and it got to the point that he was big enough and strong enough, like we talk about boys getting bigger, that he'd be taking me out. So Frankie obviously gets it. He gets how hard it is and what it's like, and the nerves as well before a game. That's something that kind of we both suffer from. We manage to speak to each other and kind of work it out between us. So definitely, it's good to have a brother or another sibling that because my dad didn't really play football. My dad's so knowledgeable in football, and I feel like he tactically knows a lot, but he never played it. So being able to speak to my brother, and obviously Frankie's played professionally as well, it's great to have somebody there to speak to.
That's good. So what advice would you give to any young players facing injuries or setbacks in their careers? Is it to really look forward, don't look at the positives, try it?
Definitely, yeah. Like I say, I keep saying it, everyone says, you always say that, things happen for a reason. And again, when I look back, they do happen for a reason. I feel like things are sent to test you because you're strong enough to deal with it, and you have to try and find the positive in that moment. It doesn't feel like it at times, and there's a lot of lows when you're injured and you think, is this ever going to end? Even when you get back playing, you're not the same player initially, and it does take a good few weeks to get back into it. You think, will I ever get back to that level? But you do. Just believe in the process, I would say, because you do get back there. If you really want to, you will get back there. But yeah, try and find something out with football, because you need other things other than just football. Because for me, I don't think that's healthy. I love the game, and I've talked about the game all day, but I think it is good to have other things.
So having your dogs and going for a walk.
Oh, I love my dogs. My dogs and my babies.
What breed of dogs?
I've got 3 dogs. So a chocolate lab, Millie, she's 17 in January.
Wow.
I've got little Poppy, she's a blue staffy. And I've got Lily, she is a cross, she was a rescue, so she's a cross of everything. But she's a big softie, so I love my dogs. I love my doggies.
That's a mixture of breeds.
It is a mixture of breeds,
yeah. The lab. A blue staff, did you say?
A blue lab, she's a little tornado, a little Poppy, she's wild, bouncing off the walls.
Love it. As one of the most experienced players at Celtic, how do you see your role in mentoring the younger players?
So I hope I do. I go about my business quietly. I hope people think I'm professional. I do like to have a laugh and that, but when I'm playing football and I'm training, I'm very, very competitive, serious, and I don't ever just go and train and think, I'll just try and get through it today, I'm tired. I give 100%, and I hope the young players can see that, and hopefully the respect to that kind of side of it. I do like speaking to younger players, and sometimes, they can be nervous because I am the oldest player at Celtic women, and this Chloe Craig slags me saying I'm the granny, so they kind of slag me as well, which is nice. I like that. You need to have a bit of banter because obviously age difference is sometimes 20 years between me and some of the younger players, and it's so different, and the things they speak about and that is out with my kind of depth of speaking about things. But I do think hopefully they can see as well off the pitch I am quite professional with the way I conduct myself. And
I think that is a better experienced player. Is what are they doing? Hopefully the youngsters are looking at you and going, what's she doing? What's and take that and push it on. That's what
I like to encourage as well. I think I'm not one of these players to shout at players if they do a mistake. I really kind of don't believe in that, and especially younger players, I think it's good to kind of celebrate each little win for them, because again it's a big step coming up from 17s to then coming up to senior football and trying to develop yourself. So I'd like to think that they think I'm encouraging, because I feel that's my focus is to encourage the younger players, and because I remember what it was like when I went to Hibs Ladies and how supportive they were and how easier they made it for me. I feel like if I can try and be that player that supported me when I was younger, the Mandy Barnes, Stacey Cook. I still bump into Mandy Barnes now. I just probably have never heard of Mandy Barnes, but at the time she was like one of the best players in Scotland. She still works for Celtic Foundation, I believe. And to me, she's still an idol to me. When I see her at Celtic, I think, God, Mandy Barnes. And Stacey Cook was one of the best players coming through to Scotland at the time. So, yeah, I'd like girls to think, I'm professional, and hopefully they can try and be as professional one day. And, I support them. That's the main thing, I think. And I try and hopefully make them enjoy football a bit more. I'm not one to shout at younger players or anything like that. I'm not keen on that.
So how has the culture around women's football changed since you started, especially at clubs like Celtic?
So it's probably like your kind of Sunday league team and used to play, and the girls maybe used to go out during the week or after a game. So it's definitely changed that side of it. And I don't drink, so I'm not really into kind of going out and drinking and socialising as in after games or before games. So it's definitely got more professional. Especially I think bringing foreign players in, learning their cultures as well has been really good. So it's not just the Scottish culture. The league is quite aggressive, and it's quite a fast-paced league that we play in, but it's good to have different cultures, I think.
Because you've got Momo. How old is she?
Yeah. Momo's young, I want to say early 20s. So she's obviously come away from Japan. She's missing her family as well, so it's good. Momo is she's come out her shell, and you can have a bit of banter with Momo, and she's going home to see her family at Christmas. So I do think it's good. It brings you together, because you have to speak about things. You're in a team, you need to be together. So you learn about different cultures, and you had Shen and Lou before from China, and Lou to begin with, her English wasn't great, and at the end she was slagging you. She was good. I had Celia as well, Barclay. She's French. She was actually staying with me, and a couple of girls staying with me. And again, she couldn't speak a word of English, and the dogs would bark at her, and she was scared of the dogs. That by the end, I'm still texting her and phoning her most weeks and catching up. She's in Spain now, but her English is really good. And again, she called me grandma and got me a 60th birthday balloon and stuff like that. So I've definitely got a good relationship. Nice. And again, it's just learning the cultures, I think, and just throwing yourself into that kind of thing. You can't kind of stand off. You're a team. You need to kind of find a way to work together.
Right. So playing in front of the big crowds. I don't know, is the biggest crowd Rangers Celtic when they're playing, is it? Or is it Glasgow City and things like that?
So I'm thinking, when we played at Celtic Park against, I want to say it was at Hartlepool, 15,500, so that was a couple of seasons ago now. So, but normally it's kind of the Old Firm games, Glasgow City games, generally during the league we would get
And how does that feel as a player when you go out and see that big massive? Is somebody suffers from nerves? Is it really nervous, or does it motivate you?
No, I get a buzz now. I love
feed off
that.
that.
And we played Champions League obviously last year. We managed to get to group stages. We had Real Madrid, FC20 and Chelsea. And I remember coming out of Hamilton against FC20, and the Green Brigade were behind the goal. And it was like, wow, like this. And it's probably one of my best games I had in the Champions League. The energy and it was just unbelievable. And it's a great crowd as well. Everyone came and supported us, and even players from other teams. But having the Green Brigade there for women's football, I think is really, really good. And I think FC20 they were a great team, and they did beat us 2-0. But I think to begin with, they were thinking, God, look, it's quite intimidating. The Green Brigade, they were pretty decent. But looking back at Champions League as well, that's a really proud moment to get into the group stages, the Champions League.
And it's only going to get bigger.
No, 100%, and we've kind of changed the format this year, and obviously Glasgow City did well in the Europa League. They started the Europa League for the women's teams. This is the first time this year, so it's definitely more opportunities for the Scottish teams to progress in Europe, which again hopefully will build fan base, investment and that hopefully help with that.
Does that bring in like more money? No,
So,
for
yeah.
like the group stages and playing group games and things
so
like that.
I
Does that
think
bring
as
with
well, if you draw and if you win, you get more money as well. So there's definitely you get an incentive, a financial incentive to qualify for the group stage, and then depending if how many points you get more money. So there's definitely a bonus for the teams if they manage to progress. So again, investment in players to try and get to that level. Hopefully you get some of it back.
So you've had some great games this season. I've watched 2 of them already. Including some key goals. How's your form right now? Because I know you weren't playing on Saturday.
So I'm injured. So I've been
right?
injured for a few weeks. So again, people slag me my big toe. I've torn the ligaments in my tendons in my big toe, and I would be one of these thinking, your big toe, just get on with it.
That's
It's
key for
pretty
your
sore.
It's key for your balance as well.
It is. It's sore and kicking a ball as well. But no, I'm getting back, kicking a ball, straight line running, a bit of twisting and turning. So they were hoping Hibs this week, but I don't know. We'll see how training goes this week. But potentially, definitely New Year. We've got a tough January, February, playing all the top teams in the league and the cup. So hopefully I'll be back then. I'm missing it. So I'm the worst supporter on the sideline. I just want to be playing. So I'm fingers crossed I'm not long away from that.
Good. You want to talk us through the kind of team spirit and mindset at Celtic? What do you think makes the squad tick?
I think it's wanting to win things. We wanted Champions League again. Obviously we couldn't get it because we finished in the league last year, but you want to win leagues, you want to win cups again. Thinking back when the Scottish Cup, I'd actually broke my arm when we played the final.
Yeah, I was reading that and you couldn't...
I couldn't play, I broke my arm, so I got Skirl kicked me, and it was an accident against Partick and I broke my arm just underneath my elbow. It was agony, so I missed the final, but it was at Hampden, and I think there was just under 10,000, I want to say, fans, Rangers Celtic, and that was just unbelievable. Even being on the sideline at that point, it was unbelievable to experience that. So winning cups, especially the Scottish Cup, is something really special. I think that really pushes you. Again, it's a competitive team, so we're all, and it's good kind of competition for spaces as well and positions. I think you need that in a team because no player should be guaranteed to play, in my opinion. You should earn it, especially in training and games. So you're always fighting against someone. Again, you can be friends with them off the pitch, but when you're on the pitch, my mindset is I'm fighting against you regardless of, if we're pals off it. So I think we've got a good balance just now, and again, different cultures, different ages, good mix between young and old. Well, maybe the oldest, but it's a good mix, and I think that definitely helps us come to games.
Good.
What's your view on the development of the SWPL and Scottish Women game in general?
So they've shortened it this year to 10 teams, and like I said earlier, there's kind of 4 or 5 of us that are kind of professional, semi-professional. I would love to see a completely professional league, and for the top teams, even Aberdeen, to invest more money. I think Montrose have done well this season. I'm not sure what investment they've got, but even if they need to make it shorter to 8 teams, but to really have a full professional league, that's what I'd like to see. And again, the development to encourage younger players to be able to get that opportunity to play in Scotland, because we are bringing foreign players over. But I just feel, where are these young Scottish players going? Are they stopping playing? Or I just feel we need a pathway for them as well. So the investment to have a professional league, but giving that pathway for the younger players. Maybe it's the development league to progress them to the women's kind of SPL 1 and 2. And
do you think now, like Hearts have got a B team within the Lowland League and things like that as well? Do you think that's something, maybe putting in B teams and some of the other leagues below? Do you think that would work for some of it? If it's professional?
If there was investment there, I think if every top team, and if you're in the SWPL 1 and you had a B team or an under-20s, that would be amazing for women's football. And again, it gives injured players minutes, and you can bridge that gap between the jump up to the first team football. But I think maybe we're a wee bit away from there. But that would be the dream, to see that in the future, to a fully professional league, potentially central contracts, and having a gap for the younger players. Because I'd hate to think younger players get maybe a bit disillusioned and think, I can't get there. And so these girls want to play for Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Hibs, or Glasgow City, and to not make it, I hope they don't think, I'm just going to pack it in. So we need something in between, I think, to keep them progressing. And because sometimes they're like developers, not every player develops at 13, 14, it could be 16, 17, 18, and by that point they're potentially away from one of the next gen teams. So
because I know the youth pathway that they're looking at just now is looking at that as there's late developers and there's people getting put out the pro youth for being too small at 13, and stuff like that. So I do know there's a 10-year plan. I don't know if you've read it. If I could send it to you, because it's really interesting reading and what they're looking to do with the pro youth teams and that as well. And it's almost like the men's where they, they have St Mirren, I've got maybe Clyde Bank, what I can't remember who they've got, and they can send some youth players to there. So they're looking to do that even with pro youth football. They can send them out to other teams or dual contracts with youth teams and stuff like that. So I think that'll be quite interesting. Is exactly what you're saying, to keep kids interested, to go, just because you're not a youth development team at 16 or 17, there's still hope that you can go on to it and stuff like that.
And if you're still attached to the dual kind of contracts, you've still got an attachment to the team, and if scouts, play, coaches and that go and watch it, then you've still
absolutely, because you do develop at different ages, don't you?
You definitely do.
So looking ahead, what's next for you personally? We've already spoke about the coaching. Do you see that the football coaching taking more centre stage and the football taking a backstage?
I'm still mindset as a player.
Still fully mindset player.
I'm still fully mindset as a player. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit of coaching, but for me, I think I want to play for as long as I can, because I know, because again, getting this injury, and you think at the point, is it time to go 31, 32, and I'm so glad I didn't, because there's so many good memories. Champions League, starting against Real Madrid, Chelsea, FC20, again winning the league. I've never experienced that. If I thought, just hang up my boots. So until my body says no more, completely no more, and I'm crawling into training, I'm still wanting to kind of focus playing. And then coaching badges. I'm glad I've done my coaching badges. It's definitely something I want to do. I want to stay in the game. So any way I can stay in the game. I love football, and I am enjoying doing a bit of coaching just now.
Good.
What in the game? What goals have you still got to achieve within the game, do you think? And you've touched on something like when maybe possibly get to another final and Scottish Cup final.
Yeah, so it's just, I always want to be the best I can possibly. I want to play in every game I can play in. Again, if that's competing individual goals, competing against players in training, being the best player on the pitch. I always have that goal, even though I'm one of the oldest players in the league. I still have that mindset. I want to go there. I want to be the best. Again, winning leagues, having the trophies at the end of the season, and experiencing that as a team and with my family. I think that's still high up on my priority.
Good. So how do you balance the kind of football with life off the pitch? What are your interests outside of football, apart from walking your dogs?
Walking my dogs. So I'm doing a bit of coaching obviously as well. Really kind of very, very close to my family, my niece and nephews. International break, I had my niece and nephews down, cost me a fortune. 8 years old, 6-year-old, 5-year-old, and they want to do everything. Eat so much food, I couldn't believe it when I went to the shops. But no, I love them, and the two boys love football as well. So just when I get a bit of downtime, my dogs, kind of chilling out, watching a bit of TV, kind of movies. I don't get a lot of downtime, unfortunately. But again, I can't moan, because I know when I stop playing, I'll probably have a lot of downtime. So
wait to get any coaching, you'll find out that you've not got, if you do get any coaching, that if you don't have a lot of time.
Recovery as well. Like when you get older, you need to do a lot of recovery. I can't believe, I remember you used to do double sessions. You could eat what you wanted, and then have to kind of see what time I was sleeping at, or I could do anything. But now stretching, God. I actually went and bought a sauna for the garden, because I need to get my recovery right. So it definitely helps me because my body's sore all the time.
Do you do the horrible ice bath?
I do the contrast. I hate it. I've got the one with the ice barrels. So do that in the sauna, but it definitely helps. It definitely helps. But again, that takes time. So when you finish walking the dogs, training, working, and fitting that in, so. But no, I wouldn't change it just now. I wouldn't change it. I'll probably go home just now and do that before I go to bed.
I absolutely enjoy it, and while we can.
No, I know.
And just watch your calories when you do get up to football, because it starts to pile on as soon as you stop that exercise.
It started already. The metabolism's changed. Can't eat the same rubbish that I used to.
Yeah, it's murder. Here's a big one for you. If you weren't a professional footballer, what would you be doing right now?
Dog walking or something.
Professional dog
walking. Or some sort of charity with dogs. I'm a sucker for dogs. I rescued another dog 2-3 months ago. My mum and dad have now got her now, little Rosie. But I'm just a sucker for dogs. Anything to do with dogs. My dogs are spoiled. They're ruined. I spend all my money on my dogs. So something to do with dogs. I love dogs.
Oh, that's nice.
They're our children, aren't they?
Oh, they're babies.
Part of the family.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lost 2 last year, so little Daisy was only 1 and she had ovarian cancer.
Right.
So I tried the whole kind of chemo, and that was awful. And then little Sky, she was 12, and she passed away. They think potentially a brain tumour. So it's awful. So I just try to make the most I can, the time I can with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine's passed away last year as well, and 28th of December last year. And didn't know I still had tear ducts, to be fair, until that moment in time.
My poor Millie's coming up when she's 17 in January.
17.
People say, oh, she's old, she's had a great life, but I know I'm going to be absolutely devastated.
Mine was 15 and it didn't make any difference.
You've had them for so long, they've been through the highs and lows with you and everything in life, and it's tough. It's tough.
So, I've not included that in, but we'll have a bit of a quick fire one just for you. 3G or grass?
Grass.
Okay.
For the joints. Mm-hmm.
For the joints, okay. VAR, bin it or keep it?
Bin it.
Bin it?
Yeah, I like kind of real life decisions and how it can change games, I don't mind that, Bin it. Bin VAR.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza. Not a massive pasta lover yet. I'll eat it pre-match. I'll force myself to eat it, but no pizza.
Have you got any pre-match rituals or anything like that? Any food?
I'm quite set in my ways actually. I've got a few superstitions. Spaghetti bolognese on a Saturday night. I always have my spaghetti bolognese on a Saturday night, and scrambled eggs in the morning, cereal. I don't know if you've ever seen a blue Powerade in a water, and I have to get the labels facing a certain way. I'm really mad. You'll do another podcast for this. I have to wear certain socks underneath my socks. My match day socks. So I have to have my same routine. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. I'm quite strict.
Nice.
A bit mad actually. I don't know if it's professional, just madness.
No, it is.
But that's part of being a professional about it though, and setting yourselves those guidelines and sticking to them. Like, I think it keeps your mental focus as well. Yeah. I think doing stuff like
even
that.
Not eating any sweet, sugary stuff, that's a no coming up to match day.
Aye.
Even when I'm playing, when you're injured, it's different, and that's what I've thought. Right, I need to start getting back on the wagon now. But even from Wednesday, Thursday, I would just cut any rubbish. I'm not really a big fizzy drinker anyway, but I try and focus because for me, sugar my joints are actually sore when I eat sugar and don't sleep as well. So I try and cut all that out, but no, I'm very strict. I'm a pain in the neck to live with when I get into my routines. But it's maybe just in my head. But I just think if I don't prepare well, then what chance have I got on a match day?
I think that's why we do have our wee superstitions or all of that. Maybe
fail to prepare, then prepare to fail.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Well, listen. Last question. Finally, what message would you send to any of the young girls in Scotland who dream of playing professional football someday?
Give it a go. There's definitely more opportunities now. I wish I could do it all over again. I wish I could be young and do it again. You need to enjoy playing, but really push yourself. Get out with your comfort zone. You can play with boys, great. I would play with boys for as long as you can, but you need to push yourself and get out with your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to play away in different teams, away from your friends. But if you really want to make it, the opportunities are there for you, and you can do it. Put your mind to it, and you can do it.
So I think that's brilliant. And so thank you very much. And I know you don't eat sugary things, but
I'm injured just now, so
we've got you a wee present for Christmas. So thank you very much for coming along.
That. Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
No, it's been fantastic, and it's been a great insight to being a professional athlete. And the sacrifices you need to make. And again, every parent who drives their kids round about the whole country, hats off, because it is a lot of work, but a lot of joy seeing your kids doing well. So brilliant, and thank you very much.
Sometimes the kids just get the credit and you forget about the parents or the friends that are driving them and feeding them in the car and giving them the opportunity.
Listening to their terrible music.
Putting up with a mood swing. Me and my dad used to fly all the time, and but again, it's pushed me to where I am.
Is that when you were getting told what you were doing wrong tactically? You should have ran there and you should have passed there.
So my dad's always, he doesn't mind if I give 100%. Even now he says if you give 100%, I've not got an issue. It's when he doesn't believe I've given 100%. There's times we went days when I was younger not speaking to Mum. Mum would be like, just speak to her. My dad like, no, and I'm quite stubborn as well. But again, it's made me think, no, I knew myself, I'd let myself down, but when I knew I've let my dad down, that was tough. And again, it's part of the parents pushing you. Because people say, you can't have pushy parents, but again, if it wasn't for my dad, it's getting the balance, I suppose.
It's
the right balance, but I do have to give a lot of credit to my dad.
Good.
I would be sitting here.
Right. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. And hopefully you're back.
I hope so.
Soon.
Playing the tough games.
Get ready to the January in the heavy grass.
Yes. And good luck to you guys playing in the games over Christmas.
No, thank you. we've got, I think our second game back is the Scottish Cup last 16
Yeah,
against Glenaffer, so it'll be a good game. It'll be a good game for any neutral that's coming along. So
Very good.
it'll be good.
Yes, thank you very much for coming along,
appreciate
and you're more than welcome to any Blackburn game. We'll have the VIP seat out ready for you.
No, I don't need it. I know, I like to just stand and watch a game, and
Hood up at the road, nobody sees me, just do what I need to do.
I definitely need to come along and watch the game.
No, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.